Hey, this is James, your holistic practitioner, and today I want to talk about self-esteem. It's one of the most critical areas that affects nearly every part of people's lives. It affects how our relationships work, it affects how we perform in our finances, and it affects our health. Everything that we believe, we achieve. And of course, if we believe negative things about ourselves or other people, we're going to achieve those things in our lives, in our business, with our relationships. This channel is not really about coaching or giving you advice or being a cheerleader for you. We're not here to give people an uplift for the day, because really those things are fleeting. Our goal is to give real solutions to people, actual protocols of ways to improve the 5 areas of their life: health, wealth, relationships, self-confidence, and spirit. And today we're talking about self-confidence because that is such a powerful area that affects everything. So what are some signs of self-confidence problems? Being afraid, having doubts, having fears, having negative programs, having belief systems, which we call family projects, to where there's no other solution but what you believe is happening in the present. Some people don't even believe there's an alternative or a solution, but the fact is every problem has a solution. At least most problems have some kind of resolution or a way to get out of it. Let's look at it this way. If someone's depressed, stressed out, they're feeling low, it is nearly impossible to maintain that negativity or that state of being depressed or stressed out if a person is looking at the solution. The moment a person looks at, how do I get out of this circumstance? How do I resolve this issue? How do I look at myself or what's going on here so that I can find some kind of a better outcome? That's when the human mind switches over, because the brain can only handle really one thing at a time when it comes to dealing with a crisis. It either falls down and becomes in the state of dwelling and negativity, or it switches over to a neutral state or even a positive state the moment somebody looks at a solution. And this is what our channel is about: giving solutions. So today I'm going to talk about some solutions. I'm going to explain how to raise your self-esteem, not by sitting on some couch of a therapist and talking about your problems for weeks and months and paying out thousands of dollars, because that is called talk therapy, and for most people it doesn't really help. It does put people into a state of getting out of their negativity temporarily, because maybe the therapist or the counselor is stepping them through reasoning and ideas. But the moment the person goes back home, the innate intelligence, the spirit, the will, the subconscious is going to take over and put them back into this crisis. And that is what today's episode is about: undoing those negative programs and that subconscious thing that's going on, the uncontrolled thing, the state people get into that they are not even aware of sometimes. So step 1, find out what it is that's troubling and triggering the person, or if it's you, find out what's triggering you. Make a list if it helps. Go do a muscle test. We give a free course on how to do a muscle test. If you have a friend or a partner that's willing to test you, it's incredibly accurate how a muscle that's tied into your nervous system, which is also tied into your subconscious, will give you an answer. It will give you a yes and a no. It will go weak the moment you think of the original problem, the original time something happened, and there are ways to step through, kind of like subfolders on when this happened even earlier in your life. And when you can get to the original event and you can address that, self-esteem is going to go way up, because things are going to get cleared. And what are the things that we want to clear? Think about it. We want to clear things like trauma, phobia, sabotage programs, blocks, negativity, negative programs, family projects. All of those things can be alleviated and reduced with the protocols that we have in our masterclass series. Even the very first free seminar that we give explains how to do this. That means that we activate the nerves to do the repair. Nerves can be activated. They can be touched, activated, they can be rubbed, they can be pressure point activated. You can even use magnetic rollers like the Nikken roller. All of these techniques are outlined in our free seminar. When you activate the nerves, it's kind of like a big circular wire. It's all on the same circuit. So if somebody's tapping pressure points on their face or tapping pressure points on their fingers or activating nerves right on somebody's spine, it's all going to the same place. It's all going to your organs, nervous system, and subconscious. So that is the second step, learning how to activate the nervous system to get a response. And the third thing is to do some kind of a neuro-linguistic program, NLP. So when you combine activating nerves and the innate intelligence and you integrate some kind of a NLP, you get results. And the results usually happen in seconds, not weeks, not months, not like talk therapy. We can reverse things, we can activate things at a quantum level, putting the subconscious into a different state. And that's really what the key is into raising your self-esteem, is to remove triggers, to remove negative situations from the nervous system. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't remember anymore. It doesn't mean that you can't think about it and see it visually, or have a picture or a recall of it as if like a movie in your mind. It just doesn't activate your fight-flight anymore. It doesn't trigger people. And when you don't activate fight-flight responses, then there's no issue with things like getting a headache over it, getting a stomach ache over it, having tension, having anxiety, having physical discomfort. Because what happens with physical discomfort is that people want to avoid that, and so they avoid doing what they need to do to get where they want to go in their life. And that's pretty much what everyone talks about when it comes to self-esteem. I don't have the self-esteem, I don't believe in myself, I don't feel I'm worthy, I don't feel it's good for me, I don't feel it's safe for me. There's a whole list of things that you can test to figure out which one of those barriers is there around self-esteem. And self-esteem can also be triggered by phobia. People are afraid. People are afraid of public speaking. People are afraid to pick up the phone and call new clients and try to get business. People are afraid of driving over an overpass, or working out a solution with a partner, explaining their feelings. This is the biggest thing, is people are afraid to be vulnerable in a relationship and simply express their vulnerabilities. Because the moment people can do that, relationships improve. So I hope this video finds you well and you're able to benefit from it. I encourage you to take our free masterclass lesson. The first one is free, and you can understand kind of those 3 steps on how to discover what's wrong, how to activate the nerves, and how to integrate some kind of an NLP system that can reverse the damage and the triggers that are creating low self-esteem, and get back to where it's more comfortable to do the things that we need to do in our lives. I really appreciate that you're here on this channel. I think a lot of people ask that you subscribe, or you hit the notification bell, or like the video. Even more important to me is that you forward this video to somebody else that could use it. Tell other people about the 5 neo-philosophies: health, wealth, relationships, confidence, and positive spirit. I'll see you next time.